With the first pick in the NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select the 19-year-old power forward from the University of Kentucky.
Here it is, guys. Your 2015-2016 NBA draft for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I wanted to explain my draft picks here because we're starting this, guys. Like, this is basically after the 2015 season, so this is like right now. Except playoffs are going on to making this video, so it's kind of like right now, right? But here's what I drafted, okay? I got the #1 draft pick with the Minnesota Timberwolves, so I brought in Karl-Anthony Towns. Now, the reason I brought him in is because, you know, Jahlil Okafor is really good and everything. I think he's going to be a great young player in this league. But the thing about him is that we already got Petrovic on this team. I think Petrovic is a very good young center himself. We also brought in Devin Booker, who the scouts are saying he's the best shooter in the draft. So to have a guy like that to spread the floor, that's just amazing right there. And then, of course, I like the work ethic of Brandon Dawson over on the Michigan State Spartans. So, you know, he was just a second rounder, but I think he can still develop to be a very good, serviceable role player on this team. So, yes, guys, this is the summary of the 2015-2016 draft for our Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm very happy with our draft, no doubt. Like, man, we're going to be beasting out there. And anyway, guys, here's our roster so far. I mean, we definitely got room to improve out here. You know, like, I'm looking at the, let's see, Andrew Wiggins, man, that dude's here to stay, man. He's part of the new era. Pekovic, I mean, let's see what we can do on this team. He's actually rated our best player, so you really can't go wrong with him either. And then you have Zach LaVine. He's a beast out there. I mean, we got a lot of good young talent. Anthony Bennett, Kevin Martin. I might be looking to deal those guys for something else. I don't really know how I want them on this team. I really don't know if we need them on this team. I mean, we kind of want to get ourselves a new image out there. And Kevin Martin and Anthony Bennett, I mean, they're not bad players. They're not. Anthony Bennett, #1 pick overall a few years ago. Like, dude, what the heck, man? You're not a bad player, but you sure were no #1 pick material out there. And then we actually have free agency to do still. And when I look up and down our roster, we're actually offering Kevin Garnett a contract to come back to this team. He's still thinking about it. It looks like he doesn't want to retire. He wants to play one more year. So the ideal situation is to bring Kevin Garnett back to the Timberwolves and then allow him to play this year, develop guys like Karl-Anthony Towns, and then maybe become a part of the organization when he retires. Not quite a head coach, or maybe not even an assistant coach. We'll cross that bridge when it comes here, definitely. But I look at the roster, guys, or I look at the free agents here, and there's not really anything I need, you know? We drafted some good young talent. I think, if anything, we definitely should bring in some role players. You know, role players, you can never have enough of those. I mean, you want enough guys out there that can shoot the ball, spread the floor, rebound, play defense off the bench, so your stars don't get burnt out during the long, grueling 82-game season or whatnot. So, you know, you want your team to be fresh for the playoffs. And yes, guys, I said playoffs. I'm saying Minnesota Timberwolves and playoffs in the same freaking sentence, guy. Like, we going to improve. I promise you guys that. Hopefully make the playoffs. You know, if we don't now, then you know, making mistakes out here. But that's all good. It's all good. So we're actually simming through the free agency here. Not a lot of players I need to bring in. I mean, you know, Robbie Hummel, whatever his name is. You guys might know who he is. I really don't know too much about him. Looking at the player progressions here, a lot of good player progressions for our team here. I mean, a lot of players going on. For some reason, we have Patrick Beverley on this team. Like, I did not even sign the guy. Yeah, he's on the Timberwolves, so we'll probably just deal him because I really don't need Patrick Beverley on this team. Maybe we'll get him for like a draft pick or something. Andrew Wiggins improving. I mean, Rubio improving. Everybody, really. You know, Kevin Martin went down 3 points, so that's going to hurt his trade value going forward. But he's not going to be a part of this team anyway. So, like I said, we can deal him for a quick player or two. We'll do that. But we're going to go to the training camps now. Yes, we want to develop our rookies. And not just our rookies, but also Andrew Wiggins, who is the sophomore in the league. So he's actually, let's see, Karl-Anthony Towns is 19 years old. I think Wiggins is only 20 years old. So yeah, we really want to improve those guys. These guys are the focal point or focus of this team going forward. So yes, we put him through the big man camp, the Karl-Anthony Towns there, and he already had some good stats as a big man. So we didn't really need to do it, but you know, you really want to polish his game in that aspect. And I actually wanted to send him to another camp. For a second there, I forgot about Andrew Wiggins. I was like, dude, I probably should send Andrew Wiggins to a camp too, you know? Like, I should have just focused on Karl-Anthony Towns here. So we're going to send Andrew Wiggins to a camp. And I really want to develop his perimeter shooting. You know, I think that he's very athletic. He's just a really good playmaker out there. But he really needs to develop a better jump shot. And that's going to set him apart from other players. Like, his shooting stances, they're not great. You know, they're in the low 70s. I mean, you can still make shots with that, but you're not going to be a consistent shooter, and that's really a part of this game we want to develop here. And then, of course, the last piece of the puzzle right here, guys. We are going to sign Kevin Garnett. We're going to pay the man his money. It's $2.4 million. Like, he's like, Crispy, I'm no longer a superstar player, but I want to be a part of this team here. You know, I want to be a part of the Timberwolves organization, so I'm not going to ask for a lot of money. But at the end of the day, guys, this is our final lineup. Ricky Rubio, man, good, solid defensive point guard. You know, the dude can steal the ball. I'll tell you that, he can pass the ball. Kevin Martin, man, he gonna get traded next episode. Like, we're gonna get rid of him. Andrew Wiggins, you know, he's a beast. You know, he's gonna be a great player in this league. Karl-Anthony Towns, Pekovic, all great players. Dieng, man, like, the dude's an 80 center, so I don't know if he's gonna want to be a 6-man role, but that's really the best we can do with him right now with Pekovic on this team. Anthony Bennett gonna get dealt, and I love Adrian Payne's game, guys. I'm a big Adrian Payne fan. You know, look up the story what he did with this one girl that had this really bad sickness. Look up the story for Michigan State. It's just a really heartwarming story and just definitely something to look into. So just a good read. But yes, guys, stay tuned for the next episode, episode 2 of this Timberwolves 2015-2016 NBA season. Bro, it's pretty much like NBA 2K16 up in here, sorta. Except like the Knicks ended up getting like the 11th pick in this season or something like that. But that's besides the point. We got the #1 pick and we gonna do work with it. Peace out, my friends.